everybody and welcome back to the Information Paradise YouTube channel. This video is about the Behaviour Quadrant, which came to me about a year ago as I was struggling with my own addiction issues. Mild addiction, but it was junk food and pornography. Both very unhealthy and a great thing to get out of my life. Behaviour Quadrant is a mental model for adding or removing any habitual behaviour. When you really think about that, this is very powerful because, I mean, imagine if you could add any habitual behaviour. So meditating every morning for 1 hour. Yes, you can do that with this. It makes it so easy. Okay, let's get into it. So there's a free worksheet to download in the description. You can print it out and print out as many as you like for as many behaviours as you like. So the first thing I want you to do is add a title to the top. And this will be regarding the behaviour that you either want to add or remove into your life. It could be meditation, just put that up there, you know. It could be jogging. So once you've added your title, the behaviour that you want to add or remove, what we're going to do is we're going to go down into the 2 boxes below. And these are for defining what is good and bad to us. So for me last year, when my record was, I ate 10 pizzas in a day, okay, which was not good. What I did, I put at the top, I can say I use this to actually help me. So this is why I'm sharing it. So I put whole food, I want to eat whole food. And basically what I did, I defined good as being eating only whole food. And then, of course, I defined bad as eating junk food, you know. So whatever it is for you, you know, if your title is alcoholism, your bad would be drinking alcohol, of course, and your good would be staying sober. So once you've gotten clear on what's good and bad regarding this behaviour, then we're going to go into the meat of the quadrant. So the 4 boxes, and these I call the 4 reference experiences. You've got good equals good, bad equals bad, good equals bad, and bad equals good. Now, this is a deep quadrant and I'm so excited to get more into it throughout this playlist. Okay, this video is in a playlist. So, let's start with bad equals good. This will set the scene. So, what's a bad equals good experience? And what we're going to do is we're going to write out all the bad equals good experiences that we can attach to the title, the behaviour. So let's say it's junk food addiction. When you're sat there eating ice cream, num 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 num, right? That is a good experience. That tells me that this behaviour is good, but it's unhealthy. It's bad. So in the bad equals good, what you want to do is you want to write down all the times where the thing you defined as bad is being perceived as good. Now we know that bad does not equal good. Okay, so this is twisted and we'll see how powerful this gets. So, okay, so write down all that stuff. So I'll give you some examples to get you thinking. So, you know, if it's running, I want to run more. Bad equals good. It feels good to just laze around. It feels good to wake up late and not put my running shoes on. Yeah, it feels good to avoid being stared at or feeling like I'm being stared at, right? Cool. If it's meditation, the bad equals good, it's kind of similar. It feels good to just avoid meditation and, you know, not have to sit there like that in meditation. Yeah, so whatever it is. And alcoholism. Bad equals good. You know, it's great. Getting drunk, yeah, not good. But it's being perceived as good. So let's move up now to the good equals bad. Now this is classic. This will make so much sense. This will make so much click in your mind. Classic example of this is when you're being fed broccoli as a child. I mean, you don't know that broccoli's good, but broccoli's good. But it's being perceived as bad. And so this is an important distinction to make, good equals bad. So when you spot this happening in your life, you'll just see it and you'll see how false it is. and then you'll move on to the good side. We'll talk about this later. So let's get some examples. For whatever you've put an experience where what you define as good is being perceived as bad. So during meditation, for example, you know it's good to meditate and spend time with God, or to spend time just doing nothing at all. But it's being perceived as bad because you just feels like you're a frog in boiling water. So the mind's going crazy. Again, with pornography, good equals bad. Well, what's good? Good, you'd probably define it as abstinence, right? In what situations is abstinence being seen as bad? Well, it's just like, oh man, this sucks. And bad is looking really good here. Okay. Other examples? Yeah, we went with a food one, didn't we? Broccoli, the taste of broccoli. All the stuff that comes with creating healthy food, the time it takes, having to go out, not you don't get much healthy food delivered. Actually, here are a few companies which do deliver whole healthy food. Okay, so I hope you've listed some good equals bad experiences, and then below that some bad equals good experiences. So now you've got this, you can have a really good look at it, and I want you to see something. I want you to see that is twisted, that's false. All of what you've written down there, those reference experiences, if you're religious, you could say they're brought to you by the devil. They're not true. It's false. Bad does not equal good, and good does not equal bad. So now let's move on to the light side. We got the dark side, let's move on to the light side. Let's start with bad equals bad. So what is a bad equals bad experience? Well, after you've eaten the ice cream, and you've piled on the Doritos, and you've piled on the chocolate, what happens? You feel terrible. Now, this isn't a good experience, this isn't a nice experience, there's no pleasure in this, but it's a truthful experience, and that's the blessing. So yeah, when you've eaten loads of ice cream, write it down for your title. Bad equals bad. Here's a great one. When you look in the mirror, for that title, when you look in the mirror, it's like, okay, what I have defined as bad, which is not jogging, which is not exercising, actually it is bad. And you get a hit of truth. And we should be grateful for these, because some people never see the truth regarding, they just avoid it and keep spending time in good equals bad and bad equals good. Okay? But now we're on the side of truth, and we should be grateful. So, and again with meditation, so whatever you got, write it down right now. Meditation, let's do some examples. So when you haven't meditated for ages, you haven't spent time with God, and your mind's just going crazy, and you feel lost. You haven't had much time to yourself. That's a bad equals bad experience. What you defined as bad is being perceived as bad. That is the key. That's what you want. And okay, so great, hopefully you understand that. Now the thing is that we don't want to spend too much time in bad equals bad. I've done this, I've wallowed in bad equals bad. After eating junk food, it's like, oh man. After a pornography session as well, all men understand this. You just feel guilty, you feel shameful, it's bad, it's just bad, it's just wallowing in badness. So yeah, you can spend a lot of time in bad equals bad, but what you want to do is you want to move on, and you want to rise up into good equals good. Now, good equals good is where we want to spend our entire lives, really, because it's a win-win situation. It's paradise. This is what I speak of when I talk about paradise of mind. All you see is goodness. Okay, so let's get some examples. So, meditation. When you're in meditation, when you're spending time with God, and it's going well, and you're having a good experience, that is just affirmation that, I'm doing good, I'm doing a good thing. The thing we defined as good is being perceived as good. And just to show you how deep this goes, this quadrant, the behaviour quadrant, A good equals good experience can come from reading something in a book. You know, you could read a statistic that people who eat whole food live longer, and then that gets added into your good equals good experiences. So write down as much as you can. And same with bad equals good. You can read something that, same with all the reference experiences. So you can read something that tells you that the thing you defined as bad is good, makes you perceive the bad thing in a good light. A lot of advertising does this. And then good equals bad. You can read something that tells you that the thing you define as good is bad, which is also a tactic of advertising, devilish advertising. So good equals good, list all that stuff. So you could, when you're jogging, the runner's high you might get when you look in the mirror and you see progress. It's just unbeatable. So this is where you want to spend your time. So I want you to zoom out. I want you to look at that behavior from the perspective of, okay, here it is, okay? And again, I want you to see the disparity between the falsity, the twisted side, and the good. This is true. Good does equal good. And how this can help you actually remove the bad habitual behavior and add a good one is that you yourself need to be convinced that the bad thing is bad and the good thing is good. Because only then will you actually be powered to do it. I can tell you all day long that smoking is bad and hey, don't do it, blah, 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 blah. That's not going to do anything. It's got to be you. Okay, and that's the power of this. It's all you. You define what's good and bad as well, and you write out your own experiences. So anytime you feel a craving for pornography, for alcohol, for junk food, you can go back to this quadrant and remind yourself of the good equals good experiences, the bad equals bad experiences, and the good equals bad and the bad equals good, just to remind you how the devil, you could say the devil tricks you into believing falsity. We always want to believe the truth, which is good equals good and bad equals bad. Thank you very much for watching this video about the behaviour quadrant. I hope it brings you a lot of health and happiness and freedom. If you'd like to learn more about this, as I do every time I talk about it, you can let me know in the comment section below any questions you have. Alternatively, you can just go to the next video, or you can book an online session with me for 1 hour where we'll discuss the behaviour quadrant as it relates to your specific habits. Thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe, and peace.